Durk Derek Banks, better known as Lil Durk, created a name for himself on social media, which led to him signing a joint venture between his Only the Fam record label, also known as OTF, and Def Jam Records in 2013. The Chicago native has experienced a multitude of success, thanks to his songs like All My Life featuring J. Cole, his joint album with Lil Baby, and his collaboration on Drake's 2020 song Laugh Now, Cry Later. In addition to his accolades in the music industry, he receives a lot of attention thanks to his relationship with India Cox, better known as India Royale. While some admire their love story, others are scared for India, as they can clearly see the red flags busting her upside the head. This is a story about love, betrayal, and murder.
Murder? Now wait a damn minute. Wait a damn minute now.
A very popular Chicago rapper is arrested in a murder-for-hire plot.
Before they call us the ops for being all up in Durk and India's business, don't forget to visit our online concession stand at rrgsnacks.com. We have the best 5-star goodies to satisfy your taste buds, including Western barbecue bacon jerky, green apple licorice, butter toffee peanuts, and our top-selling gummy sour peach rings. Durk was born on October 19, 1992, on the south side of Chicago. He dropped out of high school against his family's wishes to pursue a rap career. He also joined a street gang called the Black Disciples. He started dating a girl named Nicole in 2008. Online sources state they got married at some point, but were unable to confirm this information. In 2011, he and Nicole welcomed their son, Angelo. As a young father, Durk was more determined than ever to make a name for himself in the music industry. After dropping the song L's Anthem in 2012, his OTF label signed a joint venture with Def Jam. But a year later, Durk was locked up for unlawful use of a weapon and was released in June 2013. 1 month later, he and Nicole welcomed their daughter, Bella. And then in November 2013, he hopped on Twitter to announce he had welcomed his third child, a baby boy named Zayden. Nicole responded to his tweet by congratulating him on the new addition to his family. In other words, she was not the baby's mama. Sources claim Durk and Nicole's relationship ended around that same time. The following year in 2014, his cousin OTF Nunu was killed in Chicago. That same year, he welcomed a baby named Skylar with a woman named Tamika. And he also stepped out with his new girlfriend, Dej Loaf. Durk and Dej collaborated on the song My Beyonce, but people weren't convinced their relationship was real, especially since there were rumors about Dej's sexuality.
I'm not a whatever. Like people keep saying that. Like I'm not none of that. Who love me?
Well, I'm sure they do. You're gorgeous.
In 2016, after 2 years of dating, they went their separate ways but remained friends. In 2017, he welcomed his fifth child, a baby boy named Dumir, with baby mama number 4.
He was just sticking it everywhere, huh?
Now, with 5 kids by 4 women, you would think Durk would be too consumed by his career and his growing family to start a new relationship. But that wasn't the case. He connected with India, who was a mother of 1 at the time. They started texting and chatting on the phone. In an online video, India said that before they even met in person, Durk invited her to move in with him.
When we first started talking though, I was like, I'm not taking this serious, whatever, because I just didn't think he was serious. So, and plus, I was just like, I'm not trying to talk to nobody right now anyway. So, I'm like, let me just talk to him for a little while until like he try to see me or something. So, because I never planned on actually meeting him. So, I'm like, let me just talk to him for a second until, he tried to link with me. But he was trying to be for real with me, so I'm like, hold on, I ain't on it, right?
So after 2 weeks of talking, she told him she needed to focus on herself.
Bye, Ashy.
When I first tried to talk to her, I would talk to her for like 2 weeks, then she cut me off.
She did?
Yeah, she cut me off. I'm like, damn.
Why she cut you off? What'd you do?
Nothing, she was just like, I gotta focus on myself right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, damn, ain't nothing like that cut off before. So that's when I knew like, she was just like different from me.
India remained focused on raising her daughter, Skylar. But after a couple of months, she had too much to drink and decided to text Durk. They reconnected, and from there, they made things official before they even met.
I talked to him like on the phone, FaceTime, like we used to go to sleep, wake up on the phone for 6 months before I actually met him in person.
Why did it take y'all so long to meet?
Because we actually made it official before I seen him.
They went public with their relationship in 2017, and Durk has honored her in many ways, including in multiple songs called India.
Turn down. What you doing?
What you doing?
In the studio. I love you.
I love you too. Make a song about me.
In India Part 2, he raps, I told my mom you would make a hell of a wife. I know they mad we live a hell of a life. Trust issues, so confused. It's me and you. The rules. I wanna suck your toes, baby, take off your shoes. They say I'm nasty cause I wanna lick your ass.
Yeah. What kind of sing-song rapping is that? He danced his hell, ain't he? Sucking toes and licking ass. I see where you get your name from, Little Dirty Durk.
During a joint Instagram live session, India gave some insight into the dynamic of their relationship.
You know one thing about me, I'm going to call one time and that's it. I don't even play like that. I call one time and I text one time. And don't lie and say I don't.
I don't know. I'm focused on you.
He knows. I call it one time, you missed, and you don't call back. You got 10 minutes. After 10 minutes,
See, that's the thing.
I know you doing your big one. If you don't call back in 10 minutes, you doing your big one.
See, the thing with me is
and you think I'm finna bring down the line? You would never see my phone coming up 15 times. Never.
Then in 2018, India gave birth to their daughter, Willow, making Durk the father of 6 children by 5 women.
Now why in the hell she gonna go and do that? Who the hell would sign up to be baby mama number 5? Where they do that at?
Their relationship was rocky as hell, with allegations of infidelity and numerous breakups, including in January 2020. They removed each other's pictures from social media and unfollowed each other on Instagram. And then Durk hopped on Twitter to write, if a bitch lied to you in your face, don't trust her.
Who you calling a bitch? UNITY. Anyway.
Meanwhile, fellow Chicago native Davon Daquan Bennett, better known as King Von, was caught up in a bunch of legal issues.
Davon Daquan Bennett. Davon Daquan. Okay, I'm just checking. Davon and Daquan together. First name, middle name. Okay, all right. She just couldn't decide. She said he gonna get both of these day names.
Von grew up in the south side of Chicago in Parkway Gardens housing complex, which was previously known as Wick City before it was affectionately renamed O Block in honor of a beloved Black Disciples gang member named Odie Perry, who was killed in 2011. It was around this time that drill music originated in the south side of Chicago. Some popular components of the music are when artists celebrate dominance over rival gangs, diss their dead rivals, and refer to them as weed strains. While drill music was on the rise, Von was too busy dealing with legal issues and going in and out of jail due to his urge for vengeance. He reportedly took several lives and bragged about his criminal activity on social media. Von and Durk became friends, and Durk allowed Von to wear one of his watches to his high school prom. Von got arrested while wearing the watch, but after he got released, his friendship with Durk grew stronger. Von wasn't done being out in those streets, though. He got locked up on a first-degree murder charge and 2 counts of attempted murder. He was acquitted in 2017, linked back up with Durk, and Durk signed him to his OTF label and took him under his wing to teach him the business side of the music industry. Von's 2018 song Crazy Story was certified 3 times platinum. Music fans were in a trance over his storytelling capabilities and wordplay. However, his alleged victims' family members weren't amused. Many of them took to social media to express concern about how someone who was accused of taking so many lives could get away with the crimes without any punishment. Others were baffled by why Durk would associate with someone who many described as a serial killer. But what they didn't understand was that Durk and Von had been friends for years, and it was apparent that Durk was going to put business and their friendship above all of Von's personal and legal issues. Although he was making moves in the music industry, Von still couldn't leave the streets alone. In February 2019, warrants were issued for Von and Durk after they were accused of being involved in a shooting outside an Atlanta restaurant. The charges against Durk were dropped. Chicago rapper Carlton FBG Duck Weekly, a member of the Tucaville faction of the Gangster Disciples, had been beefing with other Chicago rappers, including Chief Keef, Durk, Von, and members of OTF. In August 2020, he was ambushed, shot, and killed at the age of 26. His girlfriend and another man were also wounded during the attack. The O Block gang publicly claimed responsibility for the violence and used social media and music to mock Duck's passing. Durk even joined the celebration by releasing a song called Should've Ducked, featuring Pooh Shiesty. In the lyrics, Durk raps, "I told my P.O. through the gate that I get high as f***. She asked me how high do I get, I told her high as duck." 6 members and associates of O Block gang were later convicted of murdering FBG Duck. Duck's mother, girlfriend, and the other man who was wounded during the crime later filed a lawsuit against Durk, his OTF record label, King Von's estate, and UMG Interscope. In their civil lawsuit, they mentioned an allegation that Von placed a $100,000 bounty on Duck. The lawsuit holds Durk, who signed Von to his OTF label, responsible for the alleged bounty as well. The lawsuit reads, Lil Durk engaged in, planned, and approved the bounty on FBG Duck's life and condoned the acts of violence King Von engaged when he knew or should have known of the violent conduct and violent histories of King Von and other known gang members he affiliated with. As of this video, the case is still pending. 3 months after Duck's passing in November 2020, Atlanta police responded to multiple people shot at a hookah lounge in Atlanta. Von was among 3 people killed after he and his entourage got into an altercation with fellow rapper Quando Rondo and his crew. Subsequently, graphic photos from Von's forensic examination were leaked online, and Durk viewed the images. Quando's friend, Timothy Lil Tim Leaks, was arrested for Von's murder the following day. However, the charges against him were eventually dropped after it was determined he acted in self-defense. Quando went to several blogs and podcasts to tell his side of the story.
It's like I had an out-of-body experience. Nobody know like what I went through. I never in life, ma'am, had words with them. Ever.
And you at this point didn't know who it was either.
Ma'am, I did not know that was him till the next day.
But the more he talked, the more people blamed him for Von's death.
Quando's career has been affected because
Quando's a little boy.
Well, I mean, that's his artist.
I used to have him like this.
Because everyone knew how Von and his crew got down, it was apparent that the streets would seek justice by any means necessary. This also led to online users encouraging Durk to slide for Von. In other words, they wanted Durk to seek revenge for Von's passing.
What are you talking about? By the slide for Von comments.
For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing the comments a lot?
They kind of chilled out a little bit.
I wonder why.
In the song Old Days, he gave some insight into how he was dealing with Von's passing, and he shed some light on his substance abuse issues. In case you missed it, the song goes a little something like this. The autopsy of Von's body had me coughing up my vomit. I miss the old days, the old ways, my history iconic. I was taking so many pills, I was so high, I really abused it. Started selling perks, I turned around and started to use it. Took my name off rehab, I replaced my name with duties. Had to get a pacemaker, my heart was skipping deuces. Now, with all of the crime and loss of life going on, along with the substance issues, people wondered why India continued being involved with Durk. Was she not afraid of one of Durk's rivals taking their anger out on her?
And I forgot about her ass with all of this going on, child.
Okay, let's fast forward to June 2021. Durk experienced another devastating loss when his brother, Dante Banks Jr., who rapped under the moniker OTF D-Thang, was shot in the head outside of a Chicago nightclub. He was pronounced deceased at the age of 32. We're unsure if the suspects were ever caught. However, some online sources state the assailants were killed in Chicago 1 month after they took OTF Thang's life. 1 month later, in July 2021, Durk and India were at their home in the Atlanta suburbs when suspects broke into their home and exchanged gunfire with Durk and India. No one was hurt, and the suspects were never captured.
The devil is a damn lie. Number one, where is your security? Number two, you ain't got no cameras. Number three, you don't live behind a gated community. Number four, Ninja, it's time to move. You need to move out west, the Midwest, on a ranch, somewhere in the middle of nowhere where they can't find your ass, where niggas will run out of gas before they get to you.
Some online users praised India for being so in love with Durk that she would pick up a firearm to protect him. Others called the couple Bonnie and Clyde. But those with some actual sense told India she was involved in a dangerous situation, and since there was clearly someone after Durk, she needed to take her children and get away from him as quickly as possible. In what many saw as an attempt to keep India by his side, Durk proposed to her on stage at one of his concerts just 5 months after the shootout, and of course, she said yes.
Does this ring come with bodyguards? I'm just asking.
Now, let's fast forward to August 2022. One of Quando Rondo's close friends, Phoenix Fendi Odom, was killed in Savannah, Georgia. Despite the tragedy that took place, Quando and his cousin, Lil Pub, headed out to Los Angeles and were driving around in an Escalade. They stopped at a gas station, and after Lil Pub pumped gas, gunmen pulled up in a sedan and opened fire in broad daylight, striking Lil Pub several times and ending his life at the age of 23. Investigators realized it was a professional hit, and online users immediately created narratives about the murder and those who were involved. Although Quando had many enemies, most people assumed the shooting was in retaliation for Vaughn's murder, and Quando was the intended target, and Pub was just an innocent bystander. After the shooting, one of Vaughn's associates took to social media with a message that read, "Ain't no time frame on that get back." OTF affiliates also mocked Quando's reaction at the crime scene. Meanwhile, Durk and India continued with their tumultuous relationship. In 2022, there were rumors that Durk had been unfaithful.
Oh, hell no, nigga. You not finna cheat on my ass when I was in a whole-ass shootout with your butt.
Allegations that their relationship was over were confirmed in September 2022 when India tweeted, "I'm a free agent." Durk responded in an Instagram story with a message that read, "That cat is mine forever. Welcome to death row, bitch."
Nigga tried roses and chocolates. Damn, that is not romantic.
Less than an hour later, India seemingly responded to his message by posting a cap emoji. In other words, she was calling him a liar. She followed that up by unfollowing him on the social media platform. By the start of 2023, they were still experiencing relationship issues. On Valentine's Day, he wrote India a special message that read, "Happy Valentine's Day to the wonderful woman that made me a man. I love you, India Royale." India wasn't feeling the love, though. She responded in a since-deleted tweet that read, "People really do not respect boundaries at all. I try my best to be respectful and not put on a show, but people don't respect my choices. Let it go." But he wasn't about to let it go. In an Instagram story, he warned other men, "Catch y'all in her comments, I'ma break them jaws."
So he didn't want to treat her right and didn't want nobody else to have her either. Okay, got it.
She celebrated her 29th birthday in March of that same year. Durk celebrated her special day by posting this message on social media. "I f***ed up. She played a small part. She is really a good girl who lived life. I am a good guy, good husband. I just never listened to her pain back when she was pregnant with Willow in the belly. So I ain't perfect, but I'm perfect for you. I love you, and I'm all ears whenever we get back into a relationship. You saved my life with you, Willow, and Skylar. Out of all my kids, you was there."
Huh? Is this nigga trying to say I'm sorry?
In an Instagram story, he added that he wanted to have one more son, and then he was done with having children. Well, a woman named Trevonna Craig wasn't trying to hear all that. Trevonna claimed she gave birth to Durk's son Romeo sometime around 2014, making him a father of 7 children by 5 women.
Yeah. Here we go. we go. I mean, we've been gone, but here we go again.
Travana demanded Durk take a paternity test and later stated he refused to attend a court hearing. As of this video, Travana has confirmed that Durk is now a part of their son's life, and she gets along with India as well. He was hospitalized in July 2023 for dehydration and exhaustion. His team made it seem like it was no big deal, but Durk subsequently canceled several tour appearances, leading fans to believe his condition was worse than they thought. 1 year later, he told TMZ that he went to rehab to kick his codeine and Xanax addictions. Because rehab helped him turn his life around, he told TMZ he wanted to build a treatment facility in Chicago. That brings us to October 2024. Federal agents arrested 5 men in connection to the August 2022 shooting in Los Angeles that killed Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pub. The feds alleged that the intended target was indeed Quando Rondo, and the murder-for-hire plot was in retaliation for Quando's friend, Lil Tim, killing King Von back in November 2020. According to the indictment, the suspects were all members of Durk's OTF crew. They accused the men of using a credit card that was associated with a record label to book plane tickets to travel from Chicago to San Diego and Los Angeles to hunt down Quando Rondo and end his life. After the men were arrested, Durk booked 2 flights from South Florida airports, one to Dubai and one to Switzerland. He then booked a private flight to Italy, but he was arrested by U.S. Marshals in Miami before he could board that flight.
Gotcha, Ninja.
He was charged with being the top mastermind behind the murder-for-hire plot, and the OTF members acted on Durk's orders since he was looking for revenge for King Von's death. According to court documents, Durk was the one who placed the bounty on Quando and helped the killers procure ski masks, rental cars, and hotel rooms to assist in the hit. A U.S. attorney said, Durk is charged with orchestrating a cold-blooded murder that resulted in the death of a rival's family member. Not only that, the shooting occurred in the open at a gas station at a busy intersection, endangering many others in the area. Violent gun crime of this sort is devastating to our community, and we will have zero tolerance for those who perpetrate such callous acts of violence. 1 day after Durk was arrested, Quando Rondo released a new song called Life Goes On. He announced the track on his social media, along with a caption that read, "We didn't get into this music industry to make it just to stay caught up in this street shit. We all have families and communities counting on us. It's time to leave all that behind. We've already lost so much, and it's heavy on my heart to forgive anyone I had issues with in the past. It's all love from me, praying for everyone." According to a release from the U.S. Attorney's Office, Durk and the 5 defendants could face a statutory maximum sentence of life in federal prison if found guilty. Days after his arrest, photos of India outside the courtroom made the rounds online. While social media users expressed admiration for her being so loyal to Durk throughout all the ups and downs of his life, others wondered what it would take for her to finally walk away for good. It doesn't look like India will be giving up on her man just yet, and despite all the red flags that are staring her right in the face, we wish her, her family, and Durk's other children nothing but the best.